Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Rufai's Roundup. And thank you guys so much. I'm just new to this YouTube thing and we've been pushing this out there. Thank you guys so much, all the subscribers. Please subscribe. I can't say that enough. And spread the message, share the videos because they're quite insightful. On Rufai's Roundup today, we've got three stories. The first story will be Hanifa's mother, on Hanifa's death, And I'll also talk about the government, saying that those that perpetrated, that caused bad fuel to be in circulation should be, dealt with. I'll talk about that. And I'll also, talk about one story, which I call my grand idea, as regards development. I'll be providing solutions to sectors of the economy. And I'll be saying what government should do in the tech sector. So the first story, Hanifa's murder, it's been on for a while now, and God rest the soul, and only God knows what the family of that young girl, Hanifa, is feeling now. She was murdered in cold blood. Her teacher kidnapped, asked for ransom, and the whole gamut, and was murdered. And this is the principle of the school. Because you see, when a child goes to school, because he wants to feel a case of safety and a sense of safety and security. And that's why children go to school. School is supposed to be a very safe place, even from the home. And when she's being killed in school, it's a big problem. But I am not happy about the reactions I'm getting from Hanifa's death. For me, the Nigerian factor is beginning to set in. And what's the Nigerian factor? The Nigerian factor is always an attempt to throw the baby away with the bathwater. Nigerian factor number one. Since Hanifa's death, there's been a knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk reaction to shut up private schools, tell them to come and re-register. But that shouldn't be the case. The case is, what were the systems put in place to even allow unregistered private schools get their chance in the first place? I think rather than having a knee-jerk reaction where we shut everything down, what we should do is to introspect and look for solutions to our problem. So what is it in the value chain that allows principles like Hanifa's principle that killed her to own schools in this country? Do we have background check on teachers? I've never seen a place where they employ a teacher and they get a background check on her or him. So, do we have background check? Do we do psychological analysis of our teachers? Do we have historical evidence of what they say they are? And you match it up with who they are? I think those are the systems we should improve on, not the knee-jerk reaction of shutting most schools. Because you see, education is a big deal. And you cannot have education in isolation. You must have education in tandem with understanding the people providing the service of education. And that's why you see countries that are ready for education, countries like Finland, they get it right. You can't just jump into a class and start teaching in Finland. Most teachers will have to get a master's, and that will be after like 5 years of training. And to get into the teaching rank is very hard. The Nigerian factor number two, while we're throwing the baby away with the bathwater, is this visits. I don't like when Nigeria politicizes everything. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to visit Hanifa's parents. For me, what they should be doing is they should improve on a Nigeria where we not have to pay senseless condolence visits again. Because Hanifa's death could actually have been prevented if measures were put in place. I know some people will argue and say, Rufai, you can't put enough measures in place. But the fact that we have gaping holes that these criminals could penetrate is a big problem. So rather than the visit, I would like all the top politicians and leaders that are going to visit Hanifa's parents to carry placards and campaign for a viable criminal justice system. Let us make Hanifa's death an inflection point. Let us expedite justice in the judiciary. Where is the state of the case now? Because you see, you can just hear all this visit and all of a sudden things will die down because we have a slow justice criminal system and nothing gets done. Oh, when Evans was caught, a lot of people were excited justice will prevail. But how far has justice been served till date? Because we have a slow justice system. We had, during Goodluck Johnson's time, the administration of criminal justice. How well have we improved on that? Because you see, what will also serve as a deterrent to people like this is an effective justice system. An effective justice system that ensures that everything is done to give justice to people that need and deserve justice. And there are many cases to go around. There's the case of Sylvester Oromoni, still on ground, that is still with the coroner. There's also the case, of the first female pilot. I forget her name now. 8th of February makes it over 22 years. That woman was murdered in cold blood and buried in a septic tank of her home in Ikoyi. She was a Nigeria Airways pilot. She was from Edo State. Because of the bad justice system we have and the ineffective, don't let me use the word bad, that case wasn't prosecuted. Somebody stood, as guarantor for them. Those guys jumped bail till today. Justice has not been done. Do you know what her family will feel about Nigeria? So rather than all of this political visit, as far as I'm concerned, here and there to Hanifa's parents, I think the priority should be improving the criminal justice system so that they can get justice on time and they can start to find closure. The second story, please share, please subscribe. The second story is about the federal government coming out yesterday, and in fact, Galbashir released a statement that I read to that effect, that justice will be done as regards, most companies that were fingered in, importing fuel that had methanol. So this is the argument of the government. The argument of the government that prior to this time, methanol additives didn't used to be a problem in the fuel brought into Nigeria, and that it was passed at the Belgian port, and it was also passed here by the necessary authorities before methanol was discovered in it. And they went ahead to pinpoint Duke Oil, MRS, Owando, and a couple of other companies. But MRS has responded and said they shouldn't call their names. So the question is, before Mele Kyari, the NNPC chief, came out, I'm sure they did their investments. And MRS too is saying we are not involved. So who is telling us the truth here? Who are we to believe, MRS or Mele Kyari? Is it witch hunt? And also there's a company owned by the NNPC there, Duke Oil. So what happened? Because they still need to explain to us properly. And apart from that, I keep insisting, and there were reports written that apart from this, methanol problem, that the oil imported into Nigeria is very, very dirty and pollutes the environment. In fact, the Guardian UK wrote an article on that the oil imported into Nigeria is very dirty. Nigeria has one of the high levels of particulate matter because of the oil we consume into the country being imported. So these are some of these contractors the NNPC is giving all of this to. It's just importing cheap oil into the country. And why is it that in 8 years since the last subsidy protest from 2012 to 2022, 10 years, we couldn't build one refinery? How much would it cost us to build one refinery or fix the refineries we have? Because this has always been the demands of labor: fix the refinery, fix the refinery, fix the refinery. So since we had the last subsidy process in Ojota till date, the two successive governments, both the PDP and the APC, and that's why you see when people say, oh, partisanship, I just laugh. The both parties are as complicit in the problem of Nigeria, APC and PDP. Both of them have been in power since that 2012 protest. Somebody would have thought that, okay, the priority should have been to build refineries. or to even encourage foreign investors to build refineries. If we're serious, even if we can't afford the money to build refineries, which I thought we should be able to afford the money, because during President Goodluck Jonathan's time, we had a lot of money. We had a windfall. That's when we had the excess crude account, which we can't account for. So somebody will have thought, well, we should have used, that to build infrastructure and build refineries, or partner with foreign agencies to build refineries. Now, we'll now have to still have a high import bill, and the oil bought in is below standard. And that's why another question I'd like to ask is, can they also tell us, the authorities and NPC, what is the octane rating of the petrol that we consume in Nigeria, so we can know what we're dealing with? My verdict on this, the National Assembly too has waded in that investigation should be done. My verdict on this is, is the Nigerian factor. Nothing will be done. I might be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see people brought to book, but I think it's just another passing the blame. And let's not also forget, we've signed the PIA, Petroleum Industry Act, into law, which has been delayed for another 18 months because we still have to pay subsidies. So let us ask ourselves truly, what do we want for our country? Do we want it to grow, or do we want it to be stagnant? If we want it to grow, those in authority should do right and help it grow and be patriotic. So my third story will be about an idea I feel can change things. And I feel, the government has tried its best as regards technology, but they can do more. My idea to change Nigeria and change tech is that government should set up coding schools in 774 local governments in the country. We can't deceive ourselves. Tech is the future. It's today. And a lot of technological skills can help mop up unemployment. It is specialized skills, but the good thing is that it could be learned. So what I believe government should do is government, and it could be with community service, should build hubs where you can get donor agencies to put in computers, where people can go and learn technology and computer skills, coding skills and the likes, and put them up for employment abroad. So apart from if they're learning the skills, then they should also be up for remote work. Because, if you do that, you can help increase social mobility and give a lot of people jobs. It's just the empowerment and knowledge is needed. I visited a school recently in Paris called 42. It was started up by a guy called Xavier Niel. It's just a free coding school where everything is free. All you just need to do is to write an application, and if you get in, you get free knowledge and you get empowered. I think the problem with the over 200 million population we have is that we've not empowered the population. And what we should be investing on should be education, variegated skills. So apart from, apart from just having universities, I think government too should have, national coding schools and open university for coding, part of the open university structure. And government too should also try to digitize the open university properly. I think once you do it, a lot more people can get on the echelons and get on the ladder and do well for themselves and do well for the country. We love Nigeria so much, and we know it can succeed. And we keep talking about these things until it succeeds and it progresses. And it is possible for Nigeria to do well. Nigeria is not a hopeless case. In fact, I say it's the best kept secret. Once we harness our resources and we harness the capacities we have, then we can scale and grow. Please subscribe. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Love you guys. Roundup with Rufai.